All right, the truck does not run. I need to buy the HP tuners so I can tune the ECM to get the anti-theft off of it, so I can get it to run at least. And I have to wire up, I think I'm gonna have to wire up my 16 pin OBD2 connector to it so I can get the HP tuner software so I can read it and tune it and get it to where it can run. But that is expensive and I don't have any money right now. So, you know, just because it don't run or don't have any money doesn't mean that I can't at least get some other stuff done to the truck that doesn't cost any money. It just costs my time. So one of the things is I'm gonna get the air compressor or AC compressor on the truck. It just needs bolted on. I need to bolt it up there so I can get ready to get a belt and get all that routed on it. So I'm gonna do that, but it's looking kind of rough. It's just dirty and like ugly looking right now. I mean, just because it's right up on top and everything else is freshly painted, other than maybe the alternator. Oh, maybe it'll match the alternator. Well, I don't know. It's kind of a big eyesore the way it's sitting. So I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with that. All right. While my AC compressor finishes curing from its fresh rebuild, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of some of this extra floor that I don't need. So I don't need it. That's all just extra. I don't need that. So let me take care of that. Hey, somebody's already patched this with another piece of metal. And then that new piece of metal has been rusting out. So great. I don't know if I have a filter in this shop vac, so I might just blow and rust around my shop. At least it's not on the floor of the truck anymore. I really should have just started out with a little bit better truck. Alright, the next thing I'm going to try and do while I'm waiting for some money is try and put the throttle cable on this thing. This is the throttle cable out of the parts truck, the 98, but I could have swore that it was a lot longer than this. So I don't know. Here's the end that goes to the actual throttle body, and then this goes to your pedal, but I don't look very long. But maybe it works because it's at an angle. It goes, oh, that'll probably work pretty good. Huh. Let me, uh-oh. Is there a bracket that needs to go on there? Yep. I need to find that. Alright, found the bracket. I'm going to clean it up a little bit, probably throw a coat of paint on it, and stick it up on the intake. It's got a little bit of rust right in that area, so let me clean it up. It's the other one. Oh, dang it. Wrong size. And it's half rusted and rounded out. All right, after some digging, I found the right size. Yep, that'll work. Good to go. All right, got my bracket on there. That's gonna go, square peg goes in the square hole. I'm not gonna stick it all the way in yet. I'm just gonna kind of right there. That'll go in that. But I was worried about my cable being too short, but it looks like it's about too long. Is it gonna stay? There we go. There's the stock cable coming out of the firewall right there. That's in the bracket, and that's like that's pretty far up there. It's kind of looped all the way up, so it's actually a little too long. Well, I don't know if I can cut it down or not. Let me pull this old one out, see how it attaches to the pedal, and I guess I'll go from there. I might have to shorten this housing down or something. We'll see. How does it come out of there? Come on now. Got it out there. All right, got the cables off. This part that attaches to the pedal is like the same. Like that should bolt right in. Oh, no, wait a minute, hold on. That's like way long. So this part goes into the firewall. This is a little bit more square and this is a little bit more round, but I think it'll work. I think it'll go in and actually just hold it. So that should be pretty good, except for, yeah, this is like way long. But I think I can, if I can find something like a cable end type deal, like a universal to hold it, I can just cut it there and put this end down here and put a cable end on it, or some sort of stopper. So I'm gonna look and see what I got. All right, what I think I'm gonna do is, let me get this all connected, this snapped in, this part in there. I'm gonna see how this looks first, because if I need to pull this cable apart, like the housing apart maybe, see if I can do that, but I don't know. Where's the thing at? Oh boy. Need some WD-40 or something to get that in there. Jesus. goes. Just like that. That's snapped in there. That is, oh, that doesn't look too bad as far as the housing. It kind of swoops down and around a little bit, but that's not too bad. Let me look at this. That's just a square hole. Oh no. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger. Ugh. I'm gonna have to get a Dremel and Dremel out that hole a little bit, I think. But I think that should work pretty good. Now for the really long part inside the truck. Rust is catching on my pants. Huh? Oh, I think this will work good. I forgot that the real long part has to go with the throttle body. This is actually like the same. Oh, that'll work real good. Because that's fully closed. Oh man. That should work real good. Sweet. It's a bolt-in deal. Alright, I thought I was going to have to cut that thing, but I didn't realize that all of my slack was from here wrapped all the way down and around to that. So that's where all my slack for closed throttle comes from. So that looks like it would work really good. All I got to do is get it out of the hole first. Oh my god, I can't get it. It's in there to stay. Here we go. Okay. This isn't exactly like square. It's more like roundish, like oblong. Like, yeah, it's not exactly square. As far as this goes, it's more of like a rectangle. So I gotta take a file and make my square hole there, I guess more like a rectangle or something. So I'm gonna try and do that, and hopefully this throttle cable just bolts right in. It works perfect. Alright, so I kind of need to know how big I need to make that square hole. So here's the ears part of that. I don't want to make the hole that big, but you turn it that way, that's what's not fitting. So I took an 11/16 wrench, and that's about how big I need to make the hole. I need to make it 11/16 that way, but not that way, because that'll be, them ears will just barely catch. So I think I need to leave this one part of the square hole and then just file, like, you know, two parts of it, make it like a rectangle to make this part fit in. Which way is that gonna go? Goes that way, or not want to go? Wants to go that way. So I need to file. All right, throttle cable is on. Stay. All right, throttle cable's on. I just had to take a file that square hole into a little bit of a rectangle. This clipped right in, pretty solid. Whoa. The cable lays down like that, like pretty good. So actually worked out really good. Didn't have to cut anything. It's got a little bit extra slack in the pedal, but I still have full throttle. Oh, I should, well. Uh-oh, I think I have full throttle. I might need to get someone out here and double check. All right, I am not quite getting full throttle. You can see it's got quite a bit of slack there. So I'm gonna bend probably there. Looks like it'd be easier. Just twist that down a little bit and you know, try and get all the horsepower. Hard to tell how far I went. Put it back on the truck and see what it looks like. Try that. All right, let's try it again. Put it to the floor. Oh, much better. Nice. All right, let it up. All right, again. Wide open throttle. All right, you're good. Thank you. I think I changed my mind. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and mount this up in the truck instead of temporarily putting it here and then messing with it. I did notice that there's like a hole in the firewall. Right up underneath the fuse box. So shouldn't be that big a deal to just route my wires, get a grommet, throw my wires through there, and just mount it up permanent. It ought to be pretty good. Or pretty simple. I also, ground is obviously just going to be this, like, share that ground to the firewall. That should be a good ground. The battery power, like I said before, I didn't use all these fuses, and there's a bunch of wires right up underneath there that I'm not using. So I'll just tap into one of those and I'll actually have a fused battery going into my data link. So it's not just straight off the battery. Something happens, it won't burn up. I do think these wires look pretty thick. So I think it is for these big fuses, which here's a 30 amp. I don't know if I have anything. Those are pretty big fuses. I don't know if I have any actual smaller amp rated fuses that size. These are, ooh, that's 50. Another 30. These blue ones, these 20. Ah, no, those are 60. There we go. Yeah, look. 20 amp fuse. Is it good? Yeah, it looks good. So I'll be able to figure out which wire is going to which fuse here, and I'll throw a 20 amp fuse in, and that'll be a fused battery for this ground. And then the data bus, I think I am going to actually temporarily just twist wire that one together. That way, if it doesn't work for some reason, I can try this one or this one, and you know, in case it doesn't want to communicate for some reason. But, you know, as long as you got power and ground and data bus, it should work. So I just got to figure out which one of the data bus wires it is. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's that one. But, yeah, I'll just go ahead and start wiring this up and actually mount it in the truck instead of almost doing it twice. Thought I might be able to get a blue connector on this fat wire. Well, it's not going. Oh, I lost it. Lord have mercy. That ground's clean enough now. Alright, got my 2 grounds right there on that stud. That basically the bracket that bolts the booster to the firewall. I didn't check that ground as far as hook a battery up and everything, but I figured that'd be pretty good. Got my other wires. Ooh, here's my data link wire. It's just ran, like I said, temporarily with my power. All of this is going to end up getting cleaned up after I get it running. Maybe driving a little bit, but I'll end up cleaning that up eventually. So now, to go into the cab, like I said, it's a 3-wire hookup for the data link connector. My power wire is obviously way too short. Like I said, I'm going to probably follow this harness from my fuse box over and then probably run it up to here. That's my dash wiring. Like I said, I'd like to screw it up just right here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. Just follow that harness like this. Tuck it up out of the way. Oh man, my ground's really hardly long enough either. Well, I think I got a little bit extra underneath the hood. So let me pull that, a little bit of slack out of that ground. Maybe throw some zip ties up on that just to kind of get that harness up, and bring it back. All right, got my harness kind of routed here. Coming out of the firewall there, it's just gonna follow this factory harness. It kind of does a little loop-de-loop up, and then these wires are gonna end up kind of up in that area over to the connector right there. So it'll look all right. All right, got my OBD2 port in there. You'll notice that I only have one screw holding it in. That's because this is temporary. Like that. That's just twisted together and electrical taped. That way if I need to change it, I can just change it to one of these. So I'm gonna cut my zip ties now, but I might end up looming this, but I'm at least gonna connect that good after I make sure that it's the right wire. And then I'll put another self-tapper in there and maybe bring that up and do something to help hide the wires a little bit more. But for now, it's just gonna hang there and it'll work good. Well, hopefully it works. All right, here's my drive shaft for the truck. I measured for my new one, or measured the truck with the 4L80 transmission in it, because I know it's longer than the Turbo 400, and it is. The truck measured from the middle of the yoke on the drive shaft up to the seal was 6 foot. It was actually 72 inches on the nose. And this one, I'm pretty sure it's going to be longer. Enough to where I'm going to need to get it cut anyway. Yeah. That puts it right on the edge there. It probably needs 3.5 inches, I'd say, cut off. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much in the middle. Yeah, that puts the seal is right at 72 inches. So the seal's right there. It needs to be, yeah, maybe 4 inches shorter or something. I'm not exactly sure. So measure that. I gotta take it to the drive shaft shop and just get it cut. 6 foot's not really that long for a drive shaft. I would like to go to a junkyard and get one out of like a newer truck that's a nice big aluminum one, a little bit lighter, but I don't have the money for that right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one cut. He actually needs to cut the front section because it's got a carrier bearing, and it measures from the transmission seal to the carrier bearing bolt was like 25 inches or 25 1/4. And like I said, that puts that, pretty much about where the 72, or yeah, about where the 72 was, right around there, right around there somewheres. Ugh. So yeah, he's gonna definitely have to cut this one. The back one will stay the same because that's, it's gonna bolt there again, so you can't cut that. So he's gonna have to take, I don't know, 4 inches or so out of this one. The guy at the drive shaft shop's actually really good. I know him, so he's good at that stuff. I got one of my extra creepers out so I could paint it, not get paint all over my floor. I'm just gonna throw a quick coat of paint on it. Not gonna replace any U-joints because they don't feel bad. And if one of them goes bad, I'll just replace it. Or if it lasts long enough, I might end up just getting a better drive shaft. Oh no! The paint died. There's still a lot left in it. Ah. That one works better. "72 inches, he needs to take it out of this drive shaft." So I'll tell him. All right, now I need to do a power steering return on this truck. This hose was actually on Randy's 55. Whoever had it before him just had this. This was his transmission cooler. They just had it looped here to make it run and not spray transmission fluid everywhere. So I'm just going to cut the ends of it off, and then I'll use this, put it on the pump and the gearbox, and this would be my return line. It's like the higher rated fuel injection line. It's 3/8 for up to 250 psi. The return doesn't really have that much pressure on it, but it should work with the transmission fluid that I'm going to end up putting in there. Save these for later. All right, got my line here. I'm gonna have to trim it because it's way too long right now. Here is my return line on my box right here. This pump, actually, it was the truck that it came off of had a hydro boost, so it's actually got two return lines. There's got one right there and one down here. I'm just gonna plug this top one and then spin this fitting around, loop my line down and into that return. I do want to put hydro boost on this truck after I get it running. You know, vacuum brakes will work good for now. And I do have the hydro boost assembly off of the parts truck, that 98. I don't think that's going to fit on a square body. I mean, it looks like it might, but I don't know. So I'll try it, and if it doesn't fit on here, I'll just have to get a hydro boost assembly for a square body. It shouldn't be that big a deal. And also, you know, I could use this as my core charge, so that should save me a few bucks. Oh boy. Oh, come on now. Oh, it's twisted a little. Uh-oh. Alright, stand by. I gotta fix this. Oh. Oh, man. This is really on there. It's rusty, like down in there. Like frozen on there pretty good. Been trying to get a scribe to get it in it, but I'm thinking it might need some heat. Alright, well that fitting cools to the touch. I'll go ahead and just put my plug on that one. I usually just throw a bolt in it for now. I do like to find one with the shank on it. That way I can put the hose clamp around it and it won't leak around the threads and like seep out. Usually they don't do it anyway, but I like doing this. I gotta go find a clamp. Forgot to tighten it. Alright. Now, all I need is a pressure line, and it should be good. Alright, I need to see if I have the power steering line off of the small block that came in that truck. And then hopefully it works with the big block power steering pump. I don't remember if I cut it or if I saved it or what. So the motor's over here in the shed. Ooh, there we go. Now if I can get it out of there. Oh yeah, came off nice and easy. Alright. First things first, I gotta take this one off. Oh, great. That is way back here. Oh, what the hell is going on? I gotta get underneath there. It's weird looking. Alright, well this pump had a pressure switch on the high side right there. I never noticed that the entire time I had this out and off the motor and sitting on the bench. That'd have been a real good time to take it off, but oh well, it's just a snap ring, so I'll be able to get it off. All right, so this is out of the pump, and this is my line. And I mean, if you look closely, it's a little different. So I have this pump that's off of, I'm pretty sure it's like a Gen 6 454. And this fitting in the back here looks like the line will fit on there, except for if you look down in there, that's for like an O-ring style, not this flange style. It don't have the bevel to go up against it. So this line won't work. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work unless this line. Oh my God, it's super dark over here. There's a line here on this. Oh man, that ain't going to work because that's a O-ring. Yep, that line ain't going to work. Back to the shed, and I will see if I can pull the fitting off that other pump. Alright, so there's the issue. I pulled this out of the shed. Well, out of the pump that was in the shed. And, alright, I think I like that. Other than the fact that it's got clumps and sludge. It's dirty. But, a little brake clean ought to clean this right up. And, this O-ring is also rock hard. So, how's this one? Man, that's pretty hard too. See if I can find an O-ring. If I can't, I'll use this as the better of the two. Other than that, so I ought to be able to throw this in the pump and then this into that, and it ought to work. All right, got it all cleaned up. Got the O-ring that was originally on the truck on there, because even though it's hard, it's just not rock hard like the other one. It's not exactly round either, but I did flip it the other way, so maybe it won't leak. I have O-rings, but none of them were the right size. I think this is some kind of, I don't know, it's like a little bit thicker O-ring or metric or something weird like that. I'm not sure. Lucky for me, I am not above reusing one, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in there. Ooh, I need to clean the dirt out of there. Looks like somebody's been stepping on that for a while. Don't get it in your eyes. How does that not want to go on? It came out of this truck. There it goes. Wow, that looks like total crap. It'll hold pressure though, and like I said, I want to put Hydro Boost on this truck eventually. Alright, power steering lines are done. Alright, that's it for this video. And if I'm going to be honest, everything I did in this video didn't cost me a dime. It was just parts that I had ready to put on this truck. I just kind of hadn't gotten to them yet. And, you know, I got to it now. And actually, there's even more stuff to put on. I'm going to put like the fan and fan shroud and stuff on that I have. I just haven't put it on it yet. I would have added it to this video, but it was getting kind of long. So that'll be the next video, is more free stuff. And it's not going to be a whole video. I don't think of everything free, because, you know, that'd be really nice. But, you know, any hot rodding costs money. So, you know, I'll keep doing that. We'll get to it. And then get the Holley software and get this thing running. But that works. That's one nice thing about getting a whole truck whenever you're parting it out instead of just getting an engine or something, is I like to try and use as much stuff as I can off of the parts truck, and it ends up saving you a lot of money as far as like all the little nickel and dime stuff that kind of adds up. If you can use a bunch of those parts off of that one, and either make them fit or just sometimes they bolt right on, which is nice. But even if you have to modify them a little bit, it still saves you a lot of money. A little bit more time, but you know, there's always that trade-off. So the next video is more free stuff, and then I'm gonna get back into spending some money on it. So that's it. Just remember, you gotta pick up a wrench so you can put the hammer down. Thanks. Maybe this will get it. It's like a little pressure control solenoid on that thing. Oh, what the hell? Hold on. Oh no. I've never had to take them off the pump before though. You can't get a socket on it because of the plug on it. All right, that's it for this video.